Hello everyone and welcome to the Commexis Cast Daily, all the news you need to know from our inbox to yours. I'm Matthew McGrorty, the videographer and podcaster here at Commexis, and today I'm joined by the lead strategist at Commexis, Philip Brooks.
Good morning.
So today we're going to be talking about a couple voice and digital assistant statistics that we thought were pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Starting off, I just want to mention a couple eMarketer numbers about just how prevalent voice digital assistants and voice search are. So eMarketer predicts that the number of voice-enabled digital assistant users in the U.S. will grow from 60.5 million in 2017 to 75.5 million by 2019. And all of the people using this service, they typically skew younger. So for example, in 2017, nearly half of voice-enabled digital assistance users will be millennials. Nearly 9 in 10 people who had voice assistants talked to it every day, while 1 in 3 said they used it more than 5 times per day. And a poll of U.S. internet users conducted by Pew Research Center early last year found that 42% of respondents used a virtual assistant on their smartphone more than any other device, including smart speakers like Google Home and Amazon Echo. I think that number is both quite large, but not super surprising, just because we always have our phones on ourselves, and I think that dovetails pretty well into people being more willing to use voice search in public, which is what Greg Sterling wrote about on Search Engine Land.
Yeah, so this article by Greg Sterling utilizes data from Stone Temple Consulting, which is Eric Enge's firm. If you've known about search marketing, you know he's a big name in the field, and this is the second such study they've done on this particular topic. They did one last year as well. There's a lot of stuff that we can pull away from this, but I think some of the most important parts that are most relevant to our findings or our business model is simply just that voice search is becoming much more prevalent, not just in the home, but in public, and this kind of builds on what Matt's already said. But some of the more interesting information that I was able to pull out of it was simply that people are looking less for search results and more for direct answers to questions, which is a little bit, I guess, concerning to me, because it sounds to me like they're putting some implicit trust in the digital assistant to deliver the right response.
Yeah, that's true.
Rather than giving you the opportunity to choose from relevant search results, which is a little bit, kind of not what search engines provide. So, they do give you the best, if you look at the way the SERPs on the page are displayed, the most likely to be the correct answer is towards the top, obviously, because that's how organic rankings are sorted. But, they do kind of stop short of saying this is the definitive answer on this particular topic. It sounds like people are actually looking for that kind of endorsement.
See, I wonder what kind of questions are being asked, because I feel like obviously some questions you get, well, of course, if you type into a search engine, you're going to get all these results, and you have to use your own personal sort of ability to figure out what you want. But I wonder if some of the questions people are asking are like, how do I get a stain out of a carpet or something like that? I don't necessarily think that's all of the questions.
Sure.
But I wonder if it's those kind of questions people want more direct answers to. But even then, there's still a lot of options there.
Anecdotally, I mean, my experience in using digital assistants is almost exclusively to find places when I'm driving.
Yeah.
So I can see the kind of, if you're okay, I'm deliberately using this voice search so I don't have to utilize my phone while I'm driving, so I'm not distracted. However, once I choose I'm given an option, I still have to, then choose that option. So it just kind of, takes me further out of the what I'm trying to do, which is to stay focused on driving. So, I can see that being the rationale behind that statement, but it does lack some context or to really explain exactly what that means.
I would love to see those numbers.
Yeah, I mean, here's some interesting, just to pull from the segments are, college-educated married men 25 to 44 years old making between $50,000 and $99,000 and living on the West Coast are the most likely to use voice search and voice commands on their smartphone. So, I mean, I don't know how much more drilled down you can get than that if you're advertising.
It's quite specific.
But they do say that, by and large, the majority of people still feel the most confident using this at home and alone.
Yeah.
So, that means the actual home units, Google Home, Amazon Alexa, that kind of stuff, still are the primary source for voice search out there, and the primary means by which they're gathering data for the most part, I would imagine. But people are feeling more confident in that, and they point to a rise of about, let's see, what is it, 12% from last year in using these in person, in public. So, I mean, it's. I think that also probably has a lot more to do with this digital assistant thing being just people growing more comfortable with it at home, and realizing that they have essentially continuity with that same digital assistant on their phones. Maybe it's a feature that they hadn't used prior, but now they see how it works for them at home. They're like, all right, well, now I feel a little more confident using it on my phone.
Yeah, and another number from the study found that texting and making calls seem to be the highest for voice assistant use. So I wonder if people, I mean, when I'm home, sometimes I'll use voice assistant like Siri or whatever to make a phone call or get a text message at least started. And I think that just it makes sense that eventually if you start getting more comfortable with it, like of course if I'm talking to you and I need to call somebody really fast, I don't have to go through the minutia of going to contact, stuff like that. Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think people are just getting more used to it and being more willing to sort of try it out.
And just a final caveat: so take some of these numbers with a grain of salt. Just to keep in mind that the survey did not distinguish between the use of smart features and smartphones in the home environment. So if you're utilizing one or the other, it doesn't differentiate between the two.
Yeah. Well, thank everybody for tuning in to today's episode of the Commexis Cast Daily. Check us out tomorrow for more of the latest trending news. Have a great day.